Reaching excitement for the 37, Matty James. Reaching their grade for the 38, Elliot Lee. Aim of the Honours of Juice. Redirecting for the 21, Mark Howard. Requare for the 6, Colin O'Connor. Reruin for the 8, Andy Cannon. Reday number 10, it's Paul Mullin. Redirect down to the 22, Mo Fowler. Redirect to the 23, Seb Levin. Redirect headline for the 24, Dan Scar. We've got delegate NUA, match officials out, referee Jacob Miles, assistant referees Mark Cutler and Paul Stillier, and your full official today is Mark Corbin. This is a message to supporters of the Heart of both clubs. After a long invitation to supporters who refrain from unacceptable behaviour before, during and after this match and thank you for your cooperation. Please do also remember the Stoke Highlands is a no-smoking stadium. This does include the use of vapes and cigarettes. Yes, well.
Noswaith Thar, and welcome to Match Day Live, the second visit to the Stoke Kairas in the space of 3 days for Phil Parkinson's men as Lincoln City come to North Wales. Wrexham with the opportunity to build on that outstanding 3-0 victory against Exeter on Saturday and to potentially cement their spot in the top 2 of the table. We're live, and again, we're in the fan zone! Yay! Great to be back with Mia Roberts and Andy Morell for another evening at Match Day Live. And Mia, let's start with you. Saturday really was the complete performance, wasn't it, from Wrexham?
In so many ways it was perfect. I think such a professional performance by the full squad, and Phil Parkinson making 4 changes. I think some people were quite surprised by that, but all 4 of the ones who came in did their jobs and more. So 3 points, 3 goals, clean sheet. You can't ask for much more. Just got to hope now we build on that and get another 3 points tonight.
Andy, having managed a similar sort of situation in the past, a comprehensive home win and then another game a couple of days later, what would some of the messages have been on Monday, and what do you think the players would have been asked to do in preparation for tonight?
Just look after yourselves and go again. The lads that have got the shirt, they certainly took it on Saturday. They've been giving it again today. No changes. It's whether they can manage. The lads that haven't had much football, can they manage again 2 games in such a short space of time? But I'm sure they will be with no game Saturday. They can just go all guns, leave nothing out there, and just hopefully take the game to Lincoln like they did on Saturday and win the game again with that bit of momentum that we've got at home.
Well, for those of you who were joining us on Match Day Live on Saturday, you might have heard Andy say post-match that he expected Phil Parkinson might stay loyal to all those who featured on Saturday and let them empty the tanks tonight, in Andy's words, with no game on Saturday. And that is exactly what the manager has done. So let's take a look at the Wrexham starting 11 tonight, because all those given a shirt on Saturday get their opportunity again this evening. The only change from the manager is an adjustment on the bench. Andy Cannon, returning from suspension, comes in for John Duffy Bodvarsson. Otherwise, it's the same 11. And I think when you play as well as you do on Saturday, regardless of the opposition, another home game there perhaps makes it a straightforward call for Phil Parkinson, assuming, of course, everyone's fighting fit.
Yeah, I think, for me tonight, I was, pretty agreeing with Andy on Saturday, thinking it was very difficult to make those changes because of the performance levels were so high. Matty James was probably the only one I thought maybe might drop out just because of lack of game time so far this season. I know he did pre-season at Leicester, I believe, but great to see him in the team still, and that shows his fitness levels are there, which is a great sign and makes that signing even more purposeful.
Well, as ever on Match Day Live, we have the opportunity to get a word with Phil Parkinson to look ahead tonight just a few minutes ago. Well, Phil, straight back at it at the Stoke Kairas after Saturday's excellent win. How are you looking forward to this one tonight?
Yeah, obviously really looking forward to the game. Pleased with Saturday, and tonight it's about going again, concentrating on what Lincoln bring tonight, and seeing if we can unlock the door. They're a different style of team to Exeter in terms of they're a bit more physical. They'll play into the channels for the two front players a lot, and we've just got to be ready for that. But we've prepared as well as we always do, and the lads are in a good place.
You've named an unchanged team tonight, just one alteration on the bench. Was that a straightforward selection for you?
Well, I thought it was a good performance from us, and just always assess everybody in training yesterday and then today, and we felt everyone had recovered well, and get a bit of continuity tonight. I feel was the right. I feel is the right decision, and Andy is a good player. He's done well for us this season and previous seasons, and he's also done well coming off the bench. So he comes into the shake-up tonight.
You've said Lincoln are likely to give you a different challenge to Exeter on Saturday. They're a team who've improved over the last 3 years in League One and one of the more established teams now in the division. Yeah,
I think so. They know the division. I think that's a good way of describing Lincoln. They don't overplay out from the back. They'll be, like I said, a little bit more direct than what Exeter were. A long throw from both sides, which we've got to be ready for to deal with the first contact and seconds. Space to play around the midfield three. But we've got to look to get control of that ball in the midfield area and to get our key players in positions high up the pitch where they can cause damage.
And of course tonight, Phil, that rare luxury of no Saturday game to follow it. Is that going to give you a rare day off on a Saturday, or are you going to be out scouting?
Plan at the moment is to go and watch Barnsley play, so don't see that changing. So it's a good opportunity for all the staff to go and watch some games, and we'll take that.
All the very best tonight, Phil.
Thank you.
Wrexham manager Phil Parkinson giving us his thoughts on tonight's game. Andy and Mia have both been having a look at the Lincoln lineup this evening and their likely formation. What have you learnt, Mia?
Well, so far this season they've been a bit in and out in terms of players. They've had a number of injuries. I think the biggest one for me tonight is it looks like Deriqua, who scored 2 against Wickham on Saturday, is normally their sort of Ryan Barnett, if you like, that right wing back. I think from looking at it, it looks like he's going to slot into that back three, which obviously for them they probably lose something a bit out wide. And we were speaking a bit about it before, changing that back three up in that sort of way. You can it changes the plan, especially away from home. It makes life a lot more difficult for you. So I think from a Lincoln point of view, they'll be looking tonight get through the first 10-20 minutes, unlike Exeter on Saturday, who conceded, I think it was the 7th minute when Max Cleworth scored, and I think that really knocked them for 6 really, and it's really difficult at a place like this to concede early and try and get back into the game.
Andy, you've also been ferreting around the Lincoln camp to see what you can find. What else are the breaking themes?
Yeah, I just know one of the coaches. I signed him for Tamworth when I was there. I actually got sacked a month later, so no thanks to him. But
you can't put it all on him, Andy.
It's not Tom's fault. No, just speaking to him, he's thoroughly loving life there. They've done really, really well over the last couple of years. They've lost 2 key players in the summer for good money to Championship teams. And they're just hoping that at some point they'll be able to replenish the squad, not just with potential but with real quality, to give them that kick that they might just for the here and now rather than for the future. But this is how teams survive at this level when money's not when the money's a problem. Then they have to find ways of filling those pots, and it's selling players normally that they have to do, and they have to then go and recruit properly, and that's what they're doing at the moment, and they're hanging in there and right on the edges. So this is going to be really tough. They haven't lost many games away from home at all recently, and so it's going to be another tough test for us.
Yeah, 1 defeat, Lincoln, in 17 away league games last year and this, so they are tough to beat away from home. And an interesting manager in Michael Skubala, who came from Leeds United, never played as a professional, a bit like Jose Mourinho. Not many of those around. Played futsal for England, but was never a professional himself. Came through at Leeds as a young coach, has got his chance here. But it sounds like with these personnel challenges he's got tonight, Mia, this is going to be quite a test for him, coming up against a team who are 7-1-0 at home so far this season.
Yeah, it's a massive test. It's a massive test for any club at the moment to come here and get anything, I think. But listen, I think Lincoln have had a really good start to this season and last. I know Andy touches that, they've lost a few players over the summer, but they were 2 points off playoffs last year. I think if they won that last game of the season, they're well amongst it. And sitting in 7th at the moment, have had, like you say, away from home have been very strong. So there'll be no mean test, and I expect a really strong performance from them.
Yeah, he's quite hands-off, I think. Speaking to Tom, he lets the coaches go and coach, and in the week, very analytical about the performances. So that's his manner, that's his way. He creates the culture himself away from the football on the grass for the players to thrive in, and he lets the coaches do their thing. But then when it comes match day, it's all about him and the way that they want to play and press. So he's just a scholar of the game for me.
Be interesting to see how his team perform tonight. Let's have a look at how they're performing this season as we take a glance at the League One table going into tonight's game. A full fixture list throughout League One this evening, so we'll keep you across what's happening and review at the end of the evening scores in other games. Wycombe and Birmingham are both in action. There's the table, and you can see Lincoln City sitting there in 7th place, where they finished last season, as Mia was telling us, but only 5 points behind Wrexham as we go into tonight's game. Wycombe Wanderers, of course, looking to extend this incredible unbeaten run. 7 straight wins for the Chairboys going into tonight's fixtures. But as you can see, Lincoln have had a mixed time of it over the last 5 games. 2 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat. Here on Saturday, of course, it was all smiles as we left the Stoke Kairas. Wrexham in fine form on a day where we expected foul weather. In the end, the weather was better, but the football was even better than that. Let's remind ourselves of a 3-0 win against the Grecians.
Pressure then, another corner. Lee sweeps it into near post. They're there! Max Cleworth again! You just can't stop him scoring. Perfect delivery though. Lovely ball into the near post by Lee. Cleworth lost his man. Lovely flick header across the keeper. And Wrexham, wow, what a start by Wrexham.
Well, it's relentless pressure, and they've just kept the ball coming back into the box at all times. And it's Cleworth, gets across his man, gets up early. The 4th chance for Lee to put it on a sixpence, and he did that. The first 3 were good, but that one was perfect, right on Max Cleworth. And he has that belief at the moment that every time he goes up, he has a chance of scoring if the delivery's right. And it was, and he did.
Absolutely, yeah. Lovely stuff by Wrexham. Sweeps into the far post, and it's headed in! Oh, has it been disallowed? No. Yeah. Not sure, actually. I mean, he can't be offside, and it was headed straight in. But it has been disallowed. Push in the back, I don't know. It just looks
a foul, I think, in there. But there's a bit of a melee, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Aitchison sat down, feeling his hamstring.
That is not a foul. Elliot Lee scores. That's not a foul.
Yeah,
I mean,
if he has given it for the Lee one, he has got 2 hands on the back, but
really good play. That's what Rathbone, the energy that he brings, and it's infectious when you're in there and somebody's running past you and stuff. You're like, oh no, I've got to run now, and you go, and then the next one goes, and it just all stems from one player.
That's a good ball by James. Elliot Lee turns and feeds in Dobson. Barnett's in space and gets it. Watts comes across. Barnett delivers early. That's a lovely ball. Oh, it's a great goal. Ollie Palmer stoops and the danger of leaving Barnett at 1-on-1 with a full-back, isn't it? What a great cross and a lovely header by Palmer.
Yeah, absolutely lovely move. Starts with a really nice Matty James ball into Elliot Lee's feet, who then plays it out wide. And Ryan Barnett just signed that contract extension. Can he sign it for another 10 years? Because what a ball that was. I think it's on a plate for Ollie Palmer, but he does really well to just absolutely find it, connected it beautifully and find that back of the net. Brilliant goal, Wrexham, 2-0.
I read it, he needed this little touch now. It's a 2-on-2 break for Exeter. Watts driving forwards, Aitchinson to his right. Watts running at Cleworth, who forces it wide. It comes to Aitchinson at a tight angle and Burton saves with his foot. It was a very tight angle. Cleworth did well, I thought, to force Watts wide, and the pass wasn't great, I didn't think, to Aitchinson.
Odd work that you have to put in, just that little bit taken off him, and go and create and be the one that can go and win us the game.
Wrexham on a break now. Palmer gets him behind Sweeney. Only Mullen's kept up with him. Mullen in the D. It's fed to him. Back to goal. Helps on beautifully. Big chance for Dobson. Great block. Comes back out to Barnett. Barnett teasing his man. Wins a corner off Mitchell. Chance for Dobson. Good block though, to be fair. This time he actually blew his whistle to stop the shoving. There's a huge crowd in front of the keeper. The ball swept into the crowd and it's there! It's Max Cleworth again! Cleworth
Looks
on
like
a hat-trick.
Rathbone. I think it's Rathbone, Mark.
Oh, Rathbone was it? Sorry. It was a great ball entered near post. And the glancing header. Well, Rathbone pinched the goal, which then was disallowed off Lee. McLean ripping it in. And yeah, that's a good climb by him, isn't it? Good spot, Andy. Absolutely. He relishes that celebration too. But again, that cross from McLean, perfect. And the crowd means the keeper can't get to it, can he?
No, brilliant header, and I wasn't too sure who actually got the final touch. I only knew it was Rathbone because of the way he darted off in absolute joy and celebration. He's absolutely loving every second of that. Such a big smile on his face. He'll be absolutely delighted. But it's a wicked ball in from James McLean on that corner.
An excellent afternoon then on Saturday against Exeter City, and Wrexham given the opportunity to back that up this evening against Lincoln. This is the second of 3 consecutive games at the Stoke Kairas in the Sky Bet League One. Barnsley here next Tuesday night. No game this Saturday for the Red Dragons. It's FA Cup weekend, so a rare chance for Phil Parkinson and his players to put their feet up on a Saturday afternoon. You can of course interact with us on Matchday Live this evening. Hashtag WXMMDL in the top right hand corner of the screen if you've got any questions, comments or points you'd like to make to Mia Roberts or Andy Morell. Please get in touch and we'll read those out when we return on YouTube at half-time and full-time. Same link for half-time analysis and full-time analysis with reaction from the Wrexham camp. 13 minutes or so till kick-off tonight. You may well have seen on social media in the last few days an eventful trip to the United States that has been led by Jamie Edwards, our head of community, alongside us, together with our executive director Humphrey Kerr. And Jamie, thank you for giving up your time to join us on Matchday Live. Over the jet lag now?
Yeah, just about.
Just about.
The excitement got us over it as well, so it's all good.
Following it on social media, it looked an eventful but highly successful trip. Just tell us a little bit about what the aims were and some of the main things that you were up to.
Yeah, so the reason we were over there was the twinning partnership that we've got with Kick for Life FC that are based in Lesotho. One of the major fundraising arms that they have is a gala dinner in New York. They've been doing it for years now. I think pre-COVID was when they started. And part of our partnership is really to support them on how they can fund their work of what we can support them with in Lesotho. So we went out there, managed to get Humphrey to put some football boots on, and myself actually, and a few other people. It was great. We got to take 2 members of staff as well from the foundation, which was a phenomenal experience for them. Like I said, played football on the Monday. On the Tuesday we did a panel talking about gender equality in football, not just playing but in jobs that you can have within football now. And then on the Wednesday night enjoyed a really good gala dinner. We offered some prizes up as well for the auction. Humphrey spoke there as well. I think we raised over £45,000.
Wow.
$45,000 from the prizes that we donated. I think the evening at the moment is around $370,000, so it was a really successful, the most they've ever raised from a gala dinner week. And also the awareness, it was great. Obviously the attraction that Wrexham has in the US is brilliant, and to help Kick for Life really amplify their message of the great work they do in Lesotho is fantastic. And we hope, and we're just about to confirm ourselves, going to Lesotho in February with a delegation to start and embed some of the work that we do here in Wrexham in Lesotho. So a really, really successful week.
Oh wow, goodness. So £370,000 to the Kick for Life Foundation back in Lesotho. Give us an idea, Jamie, of how they might spend that money, because of course we met some of that delegation on Matchday Live when they visited you a little bit earlier this season.
Yeah, it's an incredible organisation that they've got, Kick for Life. So it's based in a really hard to live area within Lesotho. They work a lot on raising awareness of HIV and how easily that is to transmit in youngsters. So there's HIV testing pods on the side of the pitches as an example, which you definitely don't see in the UK. And that sort of work that they're doing over and over, a lot around employability. So they've got their own hotel and they've got their own restaurant on site. So the players that are coming through and playing for the team, they're getting their foot on the ladder in terms of employability and working in that industry as well. So it's not just about the football for them, it's around a lifelong or better life chances for those growing up in that area.
And we also saw, whilst you were away, Jamie, of course, the relaunch of the foundation and the rebranding from the Racecourse Foundation to the Wrexham AFC Foundation, and we heard from Rob and Ryan talking about that. As our head of community, talk to us about what are the main areas of excitement you see in what that foundation can deliver.
So yeah, I think the launch of the foundation was fantastic, and to have Rob and Ryan's support really amplifies our message. We really want to gain identity with our foundation, so the targeted work that we're doing. I got told just today, we were at the food bank today doing some work with them, there's 43% of children in Kaya Park that are living with food poverty. And that's, half a mile down the road from here. So it's really making sure that as a foundation we can move forward and do targeted work. Not the traditional work that you see in terms of the soccer schools and some of the stuff that we may have done traditionally. It's the targeted work that Wrexham needs and Wrexham supporters will need around the world. So that the work that we do with Kick for Life brings that back. The global effect that Wrexham have got, we want to make sure that our targeted work through the foundation has a real identity and makes a real difference.
So looking in the next few weeks then, Jamie, what are some of the local initiatives that people might need to keep an eye out for?
So the other video that you may not have seen yet is our Primary Dragons programme we launched. Paul Mullin was fantastic on that day along with James McLean, so that's around young leaders, and that again will lead to opportunities for youngsters from Wrexham to hopefully travel the world, travel to places like New York, travel to places like Lesotho and become better leaders, hopefully we have a better future. So that Primary Dragons programme's gone out to 6 of the primary schools as a pilot this year, and we're hoping that it'll reach all 59 primary schools very, very quickly.
Jamie, I remember being in primary school, and obviously in the previous years when Wrexham would go to them, and the impact it has on you, when you're probably growing up, there's less accessibility maybe to these sort of things. You talk about it's so important locally as well, having that connection, and I think now with the younger kids being able to access that, it's so important, isn't it? Yeah,
I remember the first footballer that I ever met, and you're absolutely you never forget that experience. One, it makes a lifelong fan. Two, it helps people aspire to something. Obviously the success the football club's having at the moment, everybody wants to be a footballer. I think our job as a foundation is maybe to widen that opportunities. You could be in media, you could be in hospitality at the football club, you could be working in the charitable foundation with us. So there's so many different opportunities. We just need to highlight that to the youngsters and hopefully better equip them and support the primary schools, because it's quite tough as a primary school at the moment with tightening budgets and different things. Whatever we can complement any type of learning, if we can help people learn, then we're doing our job.
Fantastic. Well, Jamie, thanks as ever for coming to join us on Matchday Live. Sounds an awesome trip to the US. We look forward to seeing more from that in due course, and of course when you go back to Lesotho in the new year, we look forward to hearing about that trip, and perhaps you'll come back and see us then as well.
Fantastic, thank you.
Jamie Edwards, our Head of Community, joining us on Match Day Live as we get very close to kick-off here at the Stoke Kairas. If you haven't sorted out your match pass for tonight, please head to wrexhamafc.co.uk/live for all the details for iFollow, and that will give you the opportunity to get close to the action as Phil Parkinson's side try and make it 8 wins and a draw in their first 9 home games of the season. Mia, just a quick word with you before I let you go off and join Andy and Mark Griffiths on comms. On Saturday, it was such a good, positive first few minutes, wasn't it? Wrexham got on the front foot, got that early goal. If that doesn't come tonight, what do you think the message needs to be to ensure that there isn't any kind of derailing of the momentum built from Saturday?
It's quite simple. You just got to be patient, and I think this team are very experienced. I think in the league we're one of the maybe oldest, more experienced teams in League One, so that says a lot, and the signings sort of speak for that as well. But we're also going into this game now as the best defence in the league, so you've also got that confidence behind you. Maybe if you're not scoring, first half, whatever, getting into the last stages of the game, you've got that trust in those behind you that you know what, maybe we can push a few more men forward, and we trust those behind us to keep the goals out while we're trying to get them in. So I think that's really important.
Yep, important point. This is the best defence in the league now after Saturday. Exeter's was until 3 goals went in without reply. So time for Mia to head off onto commentary. Time for you to head to iFollow if you haven't already done so. Thanks for your company pre-match here on Match Day Live. We're back here, same place, same link, in the fan zone at half-time, where we hope to chat to a couple of visitors from overseas, and we'll also talk through the first half action with Mia and with Andy. We hope to see you then.
Please welcome today's teams, Lincoln City and your very own Wrexham AFC!
It's a Tuesday night under the floodlights, and it's time to back the boys and make some noise. We're Wrexham!
So yeah, we've got
grab that, that's okay as well.
Still going there. Can you make sure you just get everybody up?
Listen, you can't let yourself okay. Go cornerback. Pass to the no idea. No idea. That's Bruce ball. No, ref. Today, there's Terry King. I literally walked from the Wrexham to a horse and t-shirt from that one. So I got plenty. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even from Wrexham. I'm a Villa fan. Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right, so I'm good evening then. We've got to you at half 9.
Not on the outside here at the moment, that's on check before over.
Yeah. Nice one.
Mae'n bygor yn y swydog wedi nodi fydd yna lleiaf o 1 minute, whenever the fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute and in time 1 minute.
£10 extra to the
Score had an upset of Stoke Kairas, who half-time score at the Stoke Kairas, Wrexham 0, Lincoln 0. Bydd y gêm nesaf ar y Stoke Kairas ar y trydydd o Ragfyr yn erbyn Barnsley gyda'r gig gyntaf am chwarter i 8 y nos. Ar y bain bydd the next home game here at Stoke Kairas is on December 3rd with Barnsley the visitors for our Sky Bet League 1 match, which will kick off at 7:45 p.m. Merched Wrexham yn chwarae cartre nesaf yn erbyn Barrytown United ar y 15th o Ragfyr. Wrexham AFC Women's next home game at the Rock is on December 15th when they face Barrytown United. Match and season tickets will be available via our website.
Solid hairline.
Welcome back to Match Day Live. It's half-time here at the Stoke Kairas. Wrexham 0, Lincoln City 0 at the interval. And even first half, where Wrexham haven't been able to slip into gear quite as easily as they did against Exeter City on Saturday, Lincoln have worked hard in midfield and created some chances of their own. It's been a frustrating 45 overall for Phil Parkinson's side. They had to be thankful to keeper Callum Burton, who made an excellent save in the 12th minute to deny the head of Howdy O'Connor. Really good reactions from the Wrexham reserve keeper as he dived away to his right to parry away with a ball which landed just in front of him. Wrexham's first real interest came in the 22nd minute when Ollie Palmer went down in the penalty area. Shouts for a penalty. Phil Parkinson very interested in that, and the Wrexham players, but no interest from referee Jacob Miles, who hasn't necessarily earned the adulation of the Wrexham supporters in the first half. No penalty coming on that occasion. Conor McGrandles was providing an increasing influence in midfield as the half wore on, and Jack Moylan was just wide for Lincoln City, close to the half-time break. And Wrexham then had probably their best opportunity of the half when Owen O'Connell's header just hit the top of Wickens' crossbar a minute or so before the interval. So fairly even, Stephen. Chances relatively at a premium. And Mia and Andy, this has been a very different feel to the first 45 than we saw on Saturday against Exeter.
Yeah, very different. I think the best way I can sort of sum it up is the name we probably said most up in the commentary box was the referee. Bit of a frustrating one at times. I think, a lot of stop-start, giving a lot of sort of 50-50 fouls where you sort of think let it go, but that's one of them. That's what you've got to play with. I think that sort of sits in Lincoln's favour, though. That they'll sort of want that. As soon as you let it go and let that atmosphere build, that plays into Wrexham's hands really, and that's what we want at the Kairos. But I think fair play. I think Lincoln have set up really well and have blocked us out many times. I think Elliot Lee's having to drop maybe a bit deeper to get on the ball, which has caused us a few problems then to get a bit more further forward.
Andy?
Yeah, I think when we played Exeter on the weekend, we've maybe surprised them a little bit with the formation, the way we played. But Lincoln have had a look at that and gone, right, well, this is how we're going to set up and press. And they are really coming for us. They've got a bit of pace up top, and they're really pressing and putting pressure on and making it really difficult for us to play out, making us play that longer ball to Palmer, and we're a little bit further away from him than we maybe were on the weekend. So I think Lincoln have played very well in that first half. I think they've got threats, a bit of pace up front, and like you said, the midfield's been really strong. We've just got to keep at it. Maybe a few changes, coming into that second half, freshen things up, might just help legs, etc., and just take that initiative back to Wrexham, and then hopefully go for that win.
Yeah, Ollie Rathbone we talked about on Saturday. He was man of the match on Saturday. We saw him getting into advanced areas quite often. He's not been able to do that as much tonight, has he, so far? No, he's had to drop a little bit deeper with Matty James, try and get the ball off the back three, but because their two are going and pressing so well, it's really difficult to find those gaps at the moment. That's fine. We had it a couple of times where Dobson around the corner into Lee and then we're out. Can we be brave enough to do it? Keep doing it, because at some point it will come off. And then can we get people in the box? It's gone wide a couple of times. We had a half chance with Palmer at the back post. Can we get people in the box then that have dropped deep? They've got to break their backsides to get in there and make sure they go and get on the end of one of these crosses. Mia, big shouts for a penalty, as I was mentioning, in the 22nd minute. Tendai Darikwa on Ollie Palmer on the edge of the box. How did you see that?
You're always taking a risk as a defender as soon as you're grabbing that shirt, but I think Ollie Palmer's probably got a bit of his as well, so then it sort of can be seen as a bit of a 50-50. But from the angle that we saw it from, it does look like Ollie Palmer's maybe just got round him, and then there's maybe that bit of panic last few seconds, and Phil Parkinson below us was going absolutely mad, obviously claiming for it, but I think it would be a difficult one for the referee to give, in my opinion.
Again, Andy, a great reaction from Callum Burton. He's really showing positive signs, isn't he, in the performances he's had so far, stepping in for Arthur Okonkwo.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Made a really good, crisp save early on. Really good ball in, similar to ones we scored off on the weekend, to be fair. And they've got across, and it's just really happened really quickly. But he's got a really strong hand down to his right-hand side and kept it out. He's looked really assured. Again, between the sticks, Arthur's going to find it difficult if he's going to play like this for the next 6 weeks. It's going to be a real choice between when he comes back fit of what they can do. But all he can do is just keep that ball out of his net and keep playing well. And he's got to do the same in the second half.
Do you think, Mia, at half-time, Phil's messages will be about don't panic, keep doing what we're doing, it'll come, and just a few little tweaks? Or do you think he'll be making some more significant points to the team about how they might set up slightly differently in the second 45?
I would have thought it would be very much keep it the same first 10 and see how it goes. I think another thing is try not to get frustrated. I think there's been a few tackles that maybe have come from frustration with the referee and officials' decisions, particularly that linesman on our opposite side. He's called James McLean off a few times when a few of them have been very tight, and there's been from that maybe a few tackles and decisions that have been made out of frustration, a few passes that sort of heads have gone down too quickly. So I think that'll be a big message from Phil at half-time, saying, you know what, keep heads up, let's just keep working hard. And we've had little moments where we have broken that Lincoln press and got through them. It's just about keeping that work rate up, and the chances will come.
Just finally and briefly, Andy, if the rhythm doesn't change in the first, say, 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, how long do you think Phil will leave it before starting to make some alterations off the bench?
It would probably depend on how Matty James is, how he's feeling after 60 minutes, whether he's struggling a little bit or not. But he's normally a 70-minute man, is Phil Parkinson, so he'll probably be looking to 70 minutes to stay in the game. Maybe try and nick that one earlier on, but if not, you're looking at Mo File, Paul Mullen, change maybe a couple of changes up to try and change the dynamic really up there to try and create that chance to win the game.
Andy Meir, thank you very much for now. We're going to just get an opportunity to catch up with a couple of fans who've made the trip across from Minnesota to see the game tonight. Brenda Folsker and Malcolm Halliday, thank you very much both for joining us. Brenda, let me start with you. What has drawn you to coming to watch Wrexham?
Basically, we follow the Minnesota Loons, and so Malcolm's kind of got me on to all the international soccer. We follow Newcastle, so it was a good opportunity to get one more team under our belt.
And what was it about Wrexham that caught your eye? Have you been watching the TV documentary?
So we have, but Minnesota sometimes is the underdog, so we kind of like a little bit of the underdog, and so we like to see how good they've done and how fantastic the team has become, and so we're just really excited to see where they're going to go in the future.
And Malcolm, when you speak, we're going to hear that you're not originally from Minnesota, but you've been able to give Brenda, our guest, a bit of an overview of the British football scene.
Yes, originally from Hawick in the Scottish borders, more a rugby town than football town, sorry. I followed Heart of Midlothian in Scotland, Newcastle United in England, and I do remember the days of Mickey Thomas, etc.
Great.
Remember all the good days that we've had here. Moved to Minnesota 28 years ago. Met Brenda about 12 years ago and became a Minnesota United season ticket holder in the MLS. And we came back, with the Welcome to Wrexham series coming along. Brought Brenda into the soccer in Wrexham here. We came across a year ago. Unfortunately, it was a Burton Albion League game, the cup game that didn't do very much, and came to visit my mum again, who's in Scotland, and had to fit in a game. So we
fantastic.
Looked for this one.
Well, it's lovely to see you both here. Brenda, what have you made of the town? Have you visited any restaurants in the town? Where are you staying?
We're actually staying in Chester because it's a pretty easy drive.
We'll forgive you that one.
It's just my second year. I've got plenty of years to come. The town is beautiful. I love the culture here, and this time of the year is really special. I will definitely come back during this time of the year. Of course, summer would be better and more ideal, but you can't beat the holidays. Holidays are great.
What have you made of the first half, Brenda?
It's actually been pretty exciting. Our seats are phenomenal. I love being behind the goal. Unfortunately, it'll be the away goalie this time, but it's a great. The game's pretty good. It's exciting. It's kept me occupied.
Malcolm, are you confident Wrexham are going to be able to break down Lincoln, or have you got some concerns that Lincoln have got a threat too?
I don't have concerns. I think it's going to come in the second half. I can't see us losing this game. Maybe a draw if Lincoln's lucky, but I can see us coming through in the second half. Unfortunately, goals are going to be in the far end from where we're sitting, but I can see a couple of goals.
Here's hoping. Well, look, thank you both so much for coming across all the way from Minnesota. We hope you enjoy the rest of your trip. Are you making a bit of a long trip of it, or are you soon home?
Nope, we're going to be here till the 10th of December, so we're going to be seeing a lot of the country here in Scotland. So
excellent. Well, make sure you have a good look round Wrexham and all that can offer before you head on. Hope that we can have a victory in the second half to make that even better for you, and keep following the team from a distance. We'll hopefully see you again very, very soon. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brenda and Malcolm, who've made the long schlep from Minnesota to join us tonight on Matchday Live here at the Stoke Kairas. Half-time just about concluding, so we're ready to get on with the second half. Head across to iFollow for coverage there if you haven't already done so. wrexhamafc.co.uk/live. Half-time is Wrexham 0, Lincoln City 0. We'll be back here at full-time for all your post-match reaction and analysis on Matchday Live. You can get in touch, hashtag WXMMDL. We'll see you right back here at full-time.
on the disabled platform.
There. Yeah? Yes, we could. We could do it. But when it,
Well, the backside the same as well.
I'm not going to miss it all. You play footy, you have to get now.
I suppose if you want to find the electric out there.
It's a stumbling at the drive.
Hey? I'll tell her that one. I'll tell her that one.
At the bar when he dropped in the slot drop. What was that one?
I wasn't though.
What's that one? Well, what is it you say to him? You bet you can't bend your knee with one arm and do that. And he did it in fucking on the corner in Chester, Joe's old wine bar. What's that called now? Fox or something. Yeah. We were in there with Wes. Kiss him. Wes, you're a bit of a challenger. I bet you can't bend one leg and go down and go yee. Oh wow! It's like a gay thing to do on TikTok.
It's actually inside, yeah. Yeah, it's here, isn't it?
Tell me what you did.
It's even better. It's even
playing with another man right behind the goal. This is stand up. You've got no behind you, this is just a wall behind you.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is it actually you got the stand up stand? Yeah, not yet. When they did a new one, say stand up. That's what's sort of weird. Can't open it, can it? Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like they're doing all.
Yeah. Right, we'll close it again.
Substitution for Lincoln, leaving the field, number 9, Bailey Calamet. Martree, he's been replaced by number 34, Freddie Draper.
Wrexham in the 67th minute. It's number 9, Ollie Palmer.
Substitution for Lincoln, leaving the field, number 12, Eric Ring. He's being replaced by number 11, Ethan Hamilton. Substitution for Wrexham, leaving the field, number 38, Elliot Lee. He's being replaced by number 10, it's Phil Miller. Substitution for Wrexham, leaving the field, number 37, Matty James. He's being replaced by number 8, Andy Cannon. Voting for tonight's Wrexham Man of the Match is now open. Cast your votes on the official club website. Substitution for Lincoln leaving the field, number 27, Jovan Makama. He's being replaced by number 29, Rob Street. And leaving the field, number 14, Conor McGrandles. He's being replaced by number 10, JJ McKiernan. Maent y dorf heddiw ar y stwc Caeras, 11,786 efo 631 wedi teithio yma o Lincoln. The official attendance at the Stoke Caeras, 11,786. Our grateful thanks to the 631 away fans. We do hope you have a safe journey home. For Wrexham, leaving the field, number 20, Ollie Rathbone. He's being replaced by number 6, Tom O'Connor. Mae Bedwyr Sylwog wedi nodi bydd yn y lle of sum o 4 munud ychwanegol. The fourth officials indicated there will be a minimum of 4 minutes added time. Your senior man of the match, as chosen by you, the supporters, is number 7, James McLean. Today's final score at the Stoke Kairas, Wrexham 1, Lincoln 0. Bydd y gêm nesaf ar y Stoke Kairas ar y trydydd o Ragfyr yn erbyn Barnsley gyda'r gig gyntaf am chwarter i wyth y nos. A reminder that the next home game here at the Stoke Kairas is on December 3rd when Barnsley are the visitors for our Sky Bet League 1 match which kicks off at 7:45pm. Bydd Merched Wrexham yn chwarae nesaf cartre yn erbyn Barnsley United ar y 5th bed o Ragfyr. Wrexham AFC Women's next home game is on December 15th when they face Barrytown United. Match and season tickets will be available via our e-ticketing website. Cymerwch lefel o ddamla stadiwm gan dymuno siwr nesaf adre i fawr. A safe journey home to all supporters. Please do take care when leaving the stadium. The club shop is open for 30 minutes after full time. And a massive thanks to Andy and John for their help with the music this afternoon. We'll see you again next Tuesday. Noswaith dda!
Wycombe 1-0. Still playing.
Welcome back to the Stoke Kairas, where Wrexham have made it 8 home wins in the league this season. They have battled past Lincoln City by 1-0. It took an own goal to break the resistance of the visitors, but that came in the 62nd minute. Tendai Darikwa, the unlucky man, as James McLean's drilled cross went across the 6-yard box and Darikwa could only divert it into his own net. It was a tough night's work for Phil Parkinson's side. Lincoln with plenty of discipline and plenty of threat of their own, but in truth Wrexham had the upper hand in the second 45 after some adjustments from the opening half. Ollie Palmer going close on a couple of occasions before Wrexham did get that breakthrough, and Paul Mullin having a header saved late in the game. But it was a hard-earned 3 points for Phil Parkinson's side, but it's 3 points that takes them back to that magic 2 points a game position. 34 points now collected from 17 matches and back-to-back home wins after that victory against Exeter on Saturday. Andy Morrell and Mia Roberts have been presiding over things with Mark Griffith on commentary. Andy, as we've said many times in football, there are lots of different ways to win a football match, and Wrexham had to dig in a bit tonight to win that one.
Yeah, as fluid as they were in the first half on Saturday, I thought it was a dogged one today. It was tough. I thought Lincoln were very, very good, and they're probably very disappointed to go at home with nothing on their bus. But at home, Wrexham are just a different team. You know, they find a way, and certainly today they did that, and they win by, yes, an own goal, but it was a really good passage of play to get McLean on the ball. And you take your little bit of luck at home, and you walk away with your 3 points, and it's been a brilliant 3 days for them.
Yeah, Mia, really good work for George Dobson to create that goal, weaving his way around the edge of the penalty area, then stroking it left to James McLean. A great drilled ball in, a nightmare, I guess, from a defender's point of view to try and deal with. Almost one of those sort of computer game goals where you just fire the joystick across the box and think, well, the chances are it's going to go in off somebody. How would you defend against that?
Well, it's really difficult to sort your feet out when you're already sort of backtracking as well. And for a player who's usually a right wing back who won't normally find himself in those sort of situations, I think there is a bit of panic there. You know, when James McLean's running at you is one thing, and then when he's firing a ball in is another. But you know, it's hit the wrong side of his foot. There's not much you can do about it as a defender. He's tried his best. But, you know, again, it came from, like you say, that George Dobson little bit injection of pace. I thought just before that, I thought the fans really lifted Wrexham up and themselves, full credit to them, because, you know, Lincoln actually came out really strong in that second half. I thought first 10-15, you know, they were probably on top, really, had a few big chances, and then when sort of Phil Parkinson went to make those changes, we saw Paul Mullin and Andy Cannon on the side. It sort of suggested, you know, to maybe a few on that pitch. I know Andy said about it, you know, that it makes them want to sort of go, right, okay, I need to sort of show, maybe change your mind. And Elliot Lee did it, and then George Dobson did it, just beat a few men, and then off the George Dobson one, obviously we get the goal.
Yeah, as you say, Mullin and Cannon were stripped ready for action, but they never got on, at least not at that point, because they were made to sit down again. That goal obviously changing the thinking of Steve Parkin and Phil Parkinson. Did you see aspects in the second half, Andy, that were slightly different in terms of tactical approach from Phil Parkinson to change the rhythm a bit?
I just thought they got a little bit braver. We said at half-time that they needed to get on the ball and still play, still ask those questions, and Matty James, I thought, was excellent today. Obviously tired nearer the end, but I thought he made us play. He made us get on the ball and try and play through the thirds, and we were a little bit braver than we were in that first half, which enabled us to create a few more chances going forward. Yes, they've had a couple of chances that have gone the wrong side of post, so have we. It's been a really nip and tuck game, but thankfully we've come out on top and we've taken the 3 points.
Yeah, Rob Street going close for Lincoln Mia right at the death in injury time. Couldn't get his shot on target. If that had gone in and it had been all square, do you think that would have been a fair outcome, or did you think Wrexham did enough to edge that tonight?
Listen, I think Lincoln probably deserved to take something home with them tonight. I don't think there's much argument you can have on that. I think particularly in those last few minutes they really went for it, and it just wouldn't fall for them in the end. They had a couple of opportunities, but you know what, I think Wrexham defended really well and reduced the opportunities in them final few minutes.
Yeah, Ollie Palmer gave the ball away, didn't he? We had the chance to break and he's given the ball away, and when you're a striker in that position and you do give that, you're like, oh no, please, do not score, it's my fault. And thankfully it just rolled the right side of the post for Wrexham.
So 1-0 to Wrexham here tonight. Then it's a busy programme across League One. So let's take a look now at the scores from the other games played this evening and what it means for the League One table. Well, there were one or two upsets on Saturday, particularly with Birmingham City losing, but they were right back on the horse tonight with a 2-0 win down in the southwest against Exeter. Take it from the top, Barnsley 2, Reading 2, two teams going well so far this season, finishing all square in South Yorkshire. Bristol Rovers 0, Blackpool 2. Blackpool have had a rotten run, so a lift there for Steve Bruce's side in the southwest. Burton struggles continue, beaten 1-0 at home by Charlton Athletic. Cambridge 1, Bolton 1, Exeter 0, Birmingham 2, as we just mentioned. So Birmingham bouncing straight back from that surprise defeat against Shrewsbury on Saturday. Huddersfield going well at the moment. 2-0 victors down at Leyton Orient. That's a very good win for them. Wigan 2, Northampton 1, and Wycombe Wanderers again finding a way to win with a late goal against Mansfield Town. 8 wins on the spin. They are just rolling on as the surprise runaway league leaders. So looking across those results tonight, Andy, one day we're going to look at these results and Wycombe Wanderers won't have won.
I don't know about that. They are flying, aren't they? They've obviously found a format, a plan, and they're sticking to it and they're working. You know, I know the game against Lincoln on Saturday was really close, nip and tuck, but they're just coming out on top at the moment because maybe a little bit of bravery, maybe really clinical in those moments that are really important in games. You know, there's such a fine line between draws and wins like we've had today, and they just seem to be coming out on that side of it at the moment. And if they continue, then they're going to push, and they're going to be right in amongst it, aren't they?
Well, let's have a look what that means for the league table, because Wycombe Wanderers will be continuing to sit pretty at the top of it, but let's see what else has changed around in the top half of the table. So Wrexham started tonight second. They finish it second. 17 games and 34 points collected. A fantastic first third and a bit of the season from Phil Parkinson's side. 2 points a game, normally enough to take you up automatically. If they are at that ratio still in May, then highly likely that another promotion might be knocking. But a lot of football to play between now and then. Wycombe then out in front, 4 points clear of Wrexham. Birmingham back up to third. They've got a game in hand, of course, on Wycombe and 2 on ourselves. Huddersfield are looming ominously in 5th place on a nice little unbeaten run as well there. Barnsley and Reading, a couple of the other big clubs who we were expecting perhaps to be in the shake-up. Mia, what are your thoughts looking at that table tonight?
Well, for me, I think it just makes those 2 games even more of a sort of big win. You know, you're looking at the likes of Lincoln and Exeter as teams who will be right amongst it come end of the season. So massive 6 points over the last few days.
Well, Phil Parkinson's joined us at this point, so we'll let him have a look at the league table, Phil, because that must make quite a good viewing for you after tonight's win.
Yeah, very pleased. Yeah, always good to look at the league table when you've won, and always expect teams at the top to win as well, because that's why they're up there. But we're pleased with the night's work.
Hard work for you tonight, Phil.
They're a good side. Said before the game, they're a strong, resolute, experienced League One team, up and around the playoff zone. Last year nearly did it. This year they've had a good season as well, and they're athletic. They can sustain a press. They've got a good bench. And we almost predicted what it'd be like tonight in terms of a hard-fought game, and we've had chances second half to go and put the game to bed, and we didn't take them, but we had to just show great resilience again, and it's a magnificent win for us tonight.
Games like that, when you're having to really chisel out the victory, you've got it through an own goal at times, you've had to defend, and Lincoln have had their opportunities as well. Are they the kind of matches as a management team that you look back on and say, do you know what, that night against Lincoln when we managed to just get the job done can make the difference between a good season and a great one?
Yeah, I think saying it was an own goal, it's an outstanding bit of football from us. Dubbo's driven through the whole of the midfield, played a pass to Jimmy, and Jimmy's put it in the danger area, so it was a great bit of play. Some big moments, Brunty's goal line clearance, I haven't seen it back, but moments like that are as good as a goal. And yeah, of course, it's they came here tonight with a strong athletic team to stop us playing. They'd obviously seen us play Saturday, and they made it as difficult as possible, but we found a way again, and there's some really big performances again for tonight. I thought Ollie Rathbone was just immense for us. Matty James, I had a bit of a sleepless night really to decide whether to go with him again, just because he played so well Saturday, but he hasn't played a lot of football. But he said he felt fine, and I was going to bring him off on 55, 60, but he was playing so well, controlling the game for us. But in the end, we brought him off, and Cannon slotted in on the right, and Dobbo moved in the centre, and did really well to see the game through.
When you mention decisions like that, Phil, that you have to really wrestle with as a manager, what makes the difference between saying I'm going to give him another go and I'm going to rest him?
Yeah, I think it's having a chat with Matty first of all, which I did yesterday, because he's an honest professional, a great professional, and he'd have told me how he felt, and he recovered well. And then today when he came back in, I had another chat with him, and he said he was ready to go, and I was so pleased. It's a big ask, it's a big ask when someone's not had much football and to play Saturday, Tuesday, and especially tonight. We knew it would be a hard game as well, so credit to him for that, and pleased with his all-round display.
And just to talk about Callum Burton, then back-to-back clean sheets, really good save from him early in the game, that downward header that landed just in front of him, an early point in the match. Must be terrific for his confidence, but also we've had a chance to see just the quality that he brings, and the fact that even though Arthur's out injured at the moment, a more than able deputy awaits. Yeah,
Callum's been excellent for us. It was a very good save. Kalamazoo just got across from that wide free kick, which we looked at half time, and but listen, that's what keepers are there for. But it was an important save, low down to his right, and we spoke about Brunty's clearance. That's a key moment.
And now, Phil, the chance to have a little bit of a breather on Saturday before Barnsley come calling next Tuesday. Has that come at a good time now, having got those 2 wins, just to have a bit of a rest in legs?
Well, we'll utilise the rest, of course, because we'd like to be playing, but we're not. So the staff will be out and about watching other teams, because we're still building up our knowledge of the division, and what a night Tuesday night should be against Barnsley.
And just finally, if I can, best defence in the league and another clean sheet tonight. Just 11 conceded in 17 games. When you're a promoted team going up a level, that must give you huge confidence in the quality of players that you've recruited and that you've got to select from, that you've been able to stem the quality of attacks that you've got at this level.
Very much so. Clean sheet's a team effort, not just the defenders, and I thought Ollie Palmer did well in that department tonight, working for the team, keeping the ball at the top of the pitch for us, and all round there was a structure about us, and as much as they're hard to play through, we made sure we were difficult to play through. Obviously they had moments which you're going to have with the quality they've got on the pitch, but obviously we're really pleased with that. Brunty stepped in, done really well. Scary and Tommy have come out the team, but they've been part of a defence which has been excellent, so it's harsh that they're not in the team, but we just keep looking at each game and picking the team accordingly.
Well, Phil, really well done tonight on a hard-fought but excellent win, and we'll see you in a week's time for Barnsley.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us on Match Day Live. Phil Parkinson, Wrexham manager, getting the applause in the fan zone, and rightly so, after his marshalling of his troops again brought the points home for Wrexham. A tough night against Lincoln, but that goal again, as we talk about it. George Dobson, Mia, we've talked about him many times on Matchday Live this season, but often for his ability to break up play or perhaps to start moves off from deep. We haven't necessarily seen him in the final third as much, but he showed tonight he's got the confidence, the turn of pace and the skill to create an opportunity on a night when they've been hard to create.
Yeah, and I think that's what someone like Matty James, who can come into that central role, it gives the likes of George Dobson and Ollie Rathbone, or whoever the two are on either side, more of a freedom to push forward. And I think when Dobson has been in that deeper role, we've relied on him a lot defensively. We haven't maybe given him enough licence to go forward, but that's just the name of the game. That's the tactic we've set out. So it's great to see him go forward, because he showed it tonight that he's so good when he gets in those areas of the pitch.
No, I was just going back to the defensive record that we've got. The best defence in the league. 11 conceded in 17. The cliche is that the strikers win your games, but defences win your leagues, and that is certainly the case here, because 2 clean sheets on the bounce here against 2 really good teams that have got goals in them. It is a real statement of intent for me for the rest of the season. And if they carry on like this, they've always in the game. They've always got a chance of winning, and they'll win a lot if they can not concede goals.
Barnsley next up, Mia, in a week's time. Is that a game that you think Wrexham can look ahead now with complete confidence that they've been able to find different ways to beat different types of teams, or are they going to bring a different challenge that we've perhaps not seen for a few weeks?
You have to be confident. I think Barnsley probably haven't started the season as they would have hoped. I think they lost a few players over the summer months, but tonight I think they drew, was it 2-2 with Reading, the score tonight, but another team who are going to be in and around you, so a massive game, and I'm sure under the lights on a Tuesday it'll be absolutely rocking.
Wrexham victors then, if you're just joining us on Match Day Live this evening, you can get in touch with us on the live YouTube programme. Hashtag WXMMDL to ask any questions or raise any thoughts or comments after Wrexham have won again at home. 8 wins, 1 draw and no defeats. The fantastic home record in the league in the 9 games played so far this season. We're hoping to also get a Wrexham player to come and give us his thoughts shortly, so stay with us on Match Day Live. But if you didn't have the chance earlier this evening to see our interview with Head of Community Jamie Edwards, then you might not be aware that the Wrexham AFC Foundation has been relaunched in recent days. And if you need to know a little bit more about it, none other than Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney can explain all.
Well, hello there. Rob McElhenney here.
And Ryan Reynolds here.
Both super excited to introduce you to
the Wrexham AFC Foundation.
Take it away, Humphrey.
The Wrexham AFC Foundation is the club's official charity. It's the way we give back to the community who have given and continue to give so much to us. Across Wrexham, North Wales and the world, our foundation focuses its delivery on children, young people and young adults. Using the power of football and love of Wrexham AFC, our targeted delivery supports learning, improves health, creates equal opportunities and strengthens communities. It ensures we connect with the community, provide a pathway for future talent, create meaningful partnerships and provide a platform to engage with our future fan base.
With our players' support and your support, we want our foundation to become one of the world's leading social responsibility programs.
Together we will change the lives of young people in North Wales and beyond.
Wrexham AFC, always community first.
Yeah, plenty happening with the Wrexham AFC Foundation. Keep across all the club's social media channels and, of course, the website to find out more. Jamie Edwards joined us earlier this evening, so if you weren't able to join it, well worth scrolling back on YouTube to hear all about the trip to New York and the event with Kick for Life, our partners in Lesotho, which raised a huge amount of money for that charity who really work hard in the social impact space in Africa, and lots to enjoy from that interview with Jamie. Lots of activity as well happening locally, so have a look at that, and of course keep across what is being explained and shared in social media in the coming weeks. A lot of community focus as ever at the club. On the pitch tonight, if you're just joining us, Wrexham have beaten Lincoln City by 1-0. It took an own goal to open up the Imps' defence, but Wrexham managing to do so. A driven ball in from James McLean, a nightmare to deal with, and the ball flying into the back of the net. That was the difference between the sides. Wrexham consolidating second place in the league, 34 points from 17 games, and it looks like we've got an opportunity to catch up with one of the Wrexham players in just a moment, and we will do that very, very shortly. And looks like we've got George Dobson is going to come in and join us. He's come straight down. George, good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Blimey, you're a brave man in shorts on a night like this. Mind you've been out there for 2 hours, so fair enough. Well done on the win, and that was a hard-fought victory. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, tough game. We expected it to be tight, to be fair. They're very combative, hard-working, competitive team, so we knew it was probably going to be a game with not many chances, but we knew if we stuck to what we needed to do, we could get the win, and it is a fantastic win, to be fair. I think that's 10 clean sheets now in 17 games, whatever it is, and that's it just sets such a good platform for the team. If we can keep doing that, we'll be very close.
You've played in almost all of the games this season in the league, George. What different sort of challenge did Lincoln give you in the middle of the pitch tonight from some of the previous matches?
I think just their running attributes. They, as I said just then, they're very direct with their running in behind. They use their outside centre halves to play very direct, but it was a second ball game at times, but I thought we used our diamond at times to real effect to create an overload and make passes. We probably could have created a few more chances, but it's a really good result. Lincoln are a tough team, played against them many times the last few years, and it's always a really hard game. So yeah, it's a massive 3 points.
Now then, for the goal, you were very much the instigator, getting forward into the final third, bit of silky footwork, and then finding James McLean wide on the left. What was going through your mind when you first picked that ball up there?
Don't really know. But
pure instinct, George.
Yeah, just pure instinct, to be fair. It's a position I played a lot last season, so it's
being a bit further forward.
Yeah, so it's not something I'm new to. It was the first time last season that I played it, but I played about 15-20 games there last season, so it's not something I'm new to, and I do enjoy it. Yeah, I'm one of them. If as long as I'm playing, I'm happy really. So wherever the manager wants or needs me, I'll just do the job to the best of I can. So yeah, to be able to help to obviously create the goal and a 1-0 win obviously is massive. So yeah, I'm just buzzing with the 3 points.
Having stepped past your man and got into the box, you had a couple of options. You went left to Jimmy McLean. As you played the pass to him, were you hoping he was going to drill it across as hard as that, or what was going through your mind as you played it left?
I was actually thinking he was probably going to stick it up at the back stick for someone, but he's obviously drilled it, and we've got that little bit of luck. And at times we've not had luck. At times we have had luck. That's just how the season goes. You go back to the Charlton game and the penalty the last minute, and there'll be occasions where it goes our way and other times when it won't. So we'll take that little bit of luck. We then obviously stood firm and kept the clean sheet again. So we've just got obviously a break now at the weekend, which I think there's quite a few tired bodies in there. Obviously a few boys haven't been playing as much, so they're feeling it in the legs. But yeah, 2 clean sheets at home, and obviously we've got such a fantastic record here. We just need to keep that going, and if we can pick up on the away form just a little bit, we'll be in a really good position.
We've seen a change obviously from Phil, bringing Matty James in alongside you in these last couple of games. What have you had to do differently in your position with that slight tweak to formation?
When you play a little bit higher, you've just got to be more patient. Obviously, when you're playing as the sitter, you're the one who needs to try and link the play. But at times, I need to stay away and pull out, and at times then go alongside Matty just to cause the opposite midfield problems. And I think in both games we've done that, to be fair, with obviously Elliot coming into the pocket as well, and Ollie on the other side. As a 4, we've created big distances, and both teams who have played with a 3, it's been hard for them to defend. So yeah, it's obviously something a bit different, and it's something we've just started working on, but it is causing teams problems.
George, last 2 games now, 3 players in the middle of the park. Obviously, new players for Wrexham have only been here a matter of months. I mean, Matty James even less. Yeah. But how fast? For me, it looks like you've gelled so quickly, and it looks like you've been playing together for a long time. Has that been quite natural for you?
Yeah, it has. To be fair, as I said, I've said before, when I signed, I knew quite a few of the boys, and obviously knew the manager and knew Steve, the assistant. So it's been an easy settling process for me, really, and the tour really helped. Obviously, spending 2 weeks with the squad and all the staff every day just forms real strong relationships. So yeah, I've settled really good, and obviously as a footballer, if you're playing and doing all right, you're happy, really. So yeah, no, really enjoying it, and just hoping we can keep doing as we are and keep maintaining this 2 points a game, because if we do that for 46 games, we'll be there or thereabouts. So yeah, it's been a really good start. Just want it to continue.
And being at that 2 points a game this far into the season, George, has that exceeded your expectations if we were to look back for when you first signed?
No, I think when a squad has momentum, it's very easy to keep that momentum going if you start well. And obviously we had such a strong first 5 games that then obviously grew the belief that the group thought, yeah, we belong at the level. So and we've obviously brought in some good players to help, and as a squad we're only gonna get better, I think, to the more we play with each other. So now we're in a good place, but we can get even better.
That sounds very exciting, George. Now, what are you going to do on Saturday? A footballer who hasn't got a game on a Saturday or a Sunday, what are you going to do with your time?
We'll probably be in Sunday.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
we'll
dear.
game Tuesday. But Saturday, not sure yet. Not sure. Probably just a family day, but
great.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Well, I'm sure you're ready for it. So, George, thanks so much for coming to join us on Match Day Live. Well done tonight on your
Thank you very
performance
much.
and the win, and we'll see you for Barnsley in a week's time.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. George Dobson, Wrexham midfielder, and involved in Wrexham's goal tonight, joining us in the fan zone at Match Day Live as we wrap up from this evening's victory. Great to have George come and join us there. And interesting to hear that he played that more advanced position for Charlton last season, Andy. We've seen him, as he called it, in the sitter role, the kind of number 6 position early in this season. But if you've got someone who's got some experience playing there, then if you need to tweak the system, you're not trying to force a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, absolutely. He was happy, wasn't he? You could tell, big smile on his face. Yeah, he knows how big a win I think that is, and what a statement that is. Yeah, he's obviously played that role for 20 games. He said last season it does help when a suspension comes and Andy Cannon's come out. Can we move him in there? Well, if he knows the job already, it certainly helps. And rather than having to play 2 sitters with Matty James and Dobson playing those 2, we're able to just keep the same system, keep the flow. I think the system that he's played Saturday and tonight has maybe added a little plan A, plan B type scenario now for us, the way that so we can play this way, and it'll probably be the way we're going to play moving forward. But if needed, we can go longer. We can go and play with 2 bigger strikers and play that as well. So if things aren't going the right way, we can change it, and that's all more beneficial to any squad.
Amir, of course, George Evans and James Jones getting closer to a return. They were out on the grass this week. It's going to give Phil Parkinson some nice problems with his selection.
Yeah, it's the problems you want to have. We spoke about it a lot at the start of the season when everyone was fully fit. But no, they're another 2 brilliant additions. I mean, I was looking at the ones jogging around the pitch, before, who weren't even in the squad, and top players. So at the moment, it's a great place to be. We're very lucky to be sat on the side seeing these quality of players on that pitch.
Yeah, no Bodvarsson and no Mendy. They're warming. They're not in the squad, but then you've still got Marriott, Fletcher, Boyle, Bolt, and they've got 5 or 6 lads that can't play because of injuries, still to come back in. But hopefully while you're winning, they're getting closer and closer. It's only to strengthen when needed, when this busy obviously Christmas period's coming up. We're going to need everybody as full fit as we can possibly get them. And
I think that's why George Dobson alluded to it. You're saying about expectations. I think they're looking around going, well, hold on a second, I'm looking at the players' quality around me and we're good enough to be up here. So I don't think to them it's any surprise they are. It's just now making sure they get them results on the pitch.
And the next game, of course, at the Stoke Kairas is on Tuesday, the 3rd of December. No league fixture for Wrexham, as we've been discussing, this coming Saturday, but Barnsley come on Tuesday, the 3rd of December. Then it's a trip to struggling Burton Albion the following Saturday. And then on a fixture likely to be played on Tuesday, December the 10th, although not 100% confirmed yet, it'll be the game against Crewe Alexandra in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy Last 32, which has just been rebranded as the Virtue Trophy. I've not often seen a tournament have a new sponsor halfway through the current campaign, but the Virtue Trophy is the new name for the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, and Wrexham are into the last 32. Crewe Alexandra, a bit of a local derby on we expect Tuesday the 10th of December here at the Stoke Kairas, but look out on social media for confirmation of that date. So just to wrap up then, folks, Andy, I think when you get to over the first third of the season, people start to think, well, there might be a pattern here to how it's going. What we're seeing is a team that are able to adapt, tweak the shape a bit and find different ways to win. And this far into a season, to be averaging 2 points a game suggests promise ahead.
Yeah, and the home form is so important. They've been brilliant at home. The results have been fantastic. If, like Dobson said, that we can just tweak those away performances maybe a little bit more and be a little bit more consistent, then we've got a right chance. But it can change so quickly, so they've just got to be at it every week, keep going, keep your feet on the floor, and you never know where it might take us.
Likely to see the same 11 again for Barnsley, do you think, Mia, or too difficult to say a week out?
Difficult, but I think they all did themselves, full credit tonight, so there's no real... I don't know, Phil Parkinson's got a difficult job, let me tell you, but I wouldn't quite like to be in his shoes at the moment.
He's doing all right himself, I think. He doesn't need us to borrow his loafers. Mia, Andy, thank you very much for this evening as we wrap up at the Stoke Kairas. Well, to all our friends and watchers in the USA and Canada, we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving if you are celebrating this week, the big day coming up on Thursday. And if you are, well, maybe you'll raise a glass perhaps to the Red Dragons, sitting pretty, second in the league, 2 points a game and flying. From all of us at the Stoke Kairas, Doak Wilio, we'll see you in a week's time. Good night.